Hello everyone and welcome to today's live stream. So we're here just kind of starting off. Again, if you're new here for these live streams, what we do is just if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, feel free to put it in the live chat and we can definitely try and touch on it here. I'm not sure how long tonight's live stream is going to go, but might be on the shorter side here. So George, welcome. Hello. Nice to see you here, but yeah, so we're just kind of starting off here on the Coin 360, and as you can see, Bitcoin is down still quite a bit from where it was, just a few days ago. Down 3.64% on the day, which isn't a ton, but it's down quite a bit overall. So $42,788, down quite a bit, but hey, maybe it'll turn around and come back up. If you didn't see yesterday's, or actually it was this morning's video on what was going on with the crypto markets, are we headed into the bear market, stuff like that, make sure to check that out. And we can always go over that a little bit more in depth here today. But as you can see, Ethereum's up, XRP's up, and then it's not all red, I guess, is what we're saying here. But yeah, so like I said, it looks like we've got 4 people, so welcome to everybody who is here. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to talk about, feel free to put it in the live chat. But yeah, so right now, just kind of looking over, there is a lot of red, but some things are starting to go back up in the right direction here, so definitely nice to see that. But XRP's up, Ethereum's up, Stellar's up, Tron, Dogecoin unfortunately is not up, Litecoin's not up, ADA is not up, but hey, what can you do? If Bitcoin goes down, it's inevitable that a lot of these other altcoins are going to go down. I do think that if we get into a Bitcoin bear market here over the next few weeks, it continues going down, that we will see an altcoin season within the next month or two, where we start to see things like Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, maybe Dogecoin being a part of it, start to go up really, really nicely. Now, of course, we got to wait and see what happens with Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market before we get into that. But I think it'll be really cool to kind of keep an eye on it and see what's going on. But yeah, well, again, it looks like we've got 5 people here, so thanks everyone for showing up. I do appreciate the support. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about, feel free to put it in the live chat, and we can definitely try and see what's going on. But yeah, well, I'll just kind of be hanging out here. If there's anything you want to talk about, like I said, I don't usually have too many plans for these live streams here, but, if there's anything you want to talk about, feel free to throw it in the chat. If it's, a quieter night, we can always end a little earlier. But Mike, welcome. Glad to have you here. Awesome work on the channel. Well, I appreciate that. I saw you were commenting on some of the videos. Glad you've been enjoying kind of what's been going on here on the channel the last couple days. Definitely some new and different news in the world of cryptocurrency with, the prices, and of course Elon Musk, probably causing a little bit more of this Bitcoin down than should have happened. But again, as I've said in the videos, I do think that this was the initial sell-off, at least. I'm not sure if this is still part of him saying that he is no longer accepting Tesla for Bitcoin, or Bitcoin for Teslas. I think we still, if this is still part of that sell-off, I think it is definitely an overreaction. But yeah, Mike, you said if we want to do a chart analysis for Bitcoin, I can definitely take a look at that here. Let's see. Bitcoin. All right. And we want Bitcoin USD. We're going to assume that this is a good chart. But so what we can see here, I can't remember if we looked at this last week this time, but we are pretty much right on this support level here, and we've actually broken through it a little bit, it looks like. So right around the 42,000, just under 43,000 mark here. Bitcoin, BTC hit the weekly 21 EMA, good time to buy. Yes, I did see that here for that, but let's see. So As you can see, we kind of back here on February, we did come down and actually have a candle close, not close, but it did touch this line here during that day. We hit this and bounced right back up and kind of went on an uptrend. And you can see we did fall off a few more times, but it looks like since middle to late February here, we haven't been this low. So we are at the, couple month low here, and I think our next testing point is going to be this level here, which will be 29,000. So, if we do fall back through here, I wouldn't be surprised if, we fell back down all the way to 29,000. We may hit this level here around 38 and get a little bit of resistance, but I don't think we're going to see a ton. But, we did see, we hit all-time highs here in February, 57,000, and it dropped down to the 45,000 range. And that's kind of where it sat for a few days after hitting that all-time high. Now, we didn't hit an all-time high here before this fall-off, but we don't necessarily always have to hit an all-time high. And you can see that the fall-off here in February took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, so a week to hit its low, and then we went back up. Here we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on our 8th day, and as you can see, we haven't really lost much today. It's down a little bit, but not a ton. So that's definitely good to see. But these drop-offs taking about a week. Like I said in the video I did this morning, if it's been, a week and a half to 2 weeks and we're still not on the uptrend, I think then it's official to say, hey, we might be entering into the bear market here. It might be over pretty much, If you want to sell, this might be the time. But of course, right now on TradingView, their analysis is saying, neutral. It's not saying buy. It is leaning a little bit more towards the sell side, but, right now it's neutral. It's not too crazy. But if we pull up the RSI here, we can see that Bitcoin has been, nearing the oversold section, which is underneath the purple here, but for the most part in the stable section between these high and low points, which is good to see. It's obviously if it's going up out of here, you're getting new all-time highs, going up like crazy. Falling down though, we haven't broken out of this bottom line much, which is nice to see. Whereas, we did a little bit here today in the last few days, but we'll see where it comes. Like I said, I think it may continue to fall. I think we might trade sideways for a few days more realistically. And then, start to climb a little bit, maybe at the end of next week, but we'll see. Mike, you said great analysis, so thank you. I do appreciate that. Do I think Litecoin and Ethereum what do I think Litecoin and Ethereum prices will be if Bitcoin hits sub 20 in the bear market? That's really hard to say because, like I said, I do think we still have an altcoin season that we're overdue for. If you look at what happened with crypto in 2018, end of 2017 into 2018, Bitcoin hit 20K, started falling off, but then we saw Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin hit all those all-time highs, during the summer of 2018. So we may be seeing those coins hit their all-time highs during the summer of 2021, which we're going into. So it's hard to say if that's what's actually going to happen. But, like I've said before, I think, Ethereum, I think is still super, super underpriced. I am really surprised Ethereum is not $10,000 or more. It's got a great project behind it. They do have some questionable updates coming, but it is what it is. I think it's a great coin. It's got a lot of people behind it. I think it should be worth a lot more. And the same goes for Litecoin. Litecoin here, 291 for Litecoin. I wouldn't be surprised. Realistically, I think $4,000 to $5,000 for a Litecoin is very, very doable. It depends on what's going on in the crypto market, of course, but, Litecoin being sub 300 still, I think is crazy that it's this low. Its all-time high back in 2018 was $358. So we did cross that briefly, but the fact that we're not that high, at least right now, is kind of shocking because, Bitcoin, of course, has hit all-time high after all-time high, going all the way up into the 60,000 range at one point. Litecoin has only touched that point and just crossed it one time. So, if Litecoin does what Bitcoin has done over the past, couple months here, you saw in October, it started going up a little bit. November, and then in all of that, Bitcoin hit an all-time high here in December of 2020, 23,000. So this might have been Litecoin, and it traded sideways for a little bit, and then it really took off all the way up to 43. So we could see Litecoin do something similar where it hit its all-time high, fell down a little bit, and traded sideways, and then it really takes off and hits maybe $2,000 and then falls back off, comes back up and hits 2,800, 3,000, something like that. Now, of course, that's just a prediction. I personally like Litecoin quite a bit. It's got a good speed on its blockchain. It doesn't have as many use cases as like Ethereum or something like that, I don't think. But I think it has a lot of potential to continue to go up here in the future. So, as Bitcoin continues to fall, we might see those start to go up a little bit. But, ultimately they will settle back down with Bitcoin. And, with the way it's looking right now, Litecoin falling back below, 250, I think is definitely something that could happen. Ethereum falling back below 2,500, I think is something that could definitely happen as well. But yeah, so hopefully that kind of helped answer your question a little bit. Again, that's just my opinion, kind of thoughts. There's not really too much backing that up. Like I said, I've always thought that Ethereum and Litecoin specifically were underpriced compared to where Bitcoin has gone over the last few months. So Mike, hopefully that answers your question there, but it looks like we've got 7 people, so welcome to everybody who's here. I appreciate you guys showing up and supporting the channel. But if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, crypto, technology, anything like that, feel free to leave a live chat, and I will definitely talk about it, because it looks like tonight's going to be a little bit of a quieter stream, which, hey, no big deal. Was kind of a last-minute planned live stream, so no big deal, but yeah, we can kind of hang out here for a little bit, and maybe another 10-15 minutes, see what's going on, and go from there. But Mike said yes, super helpful. Glad you liked it. But bear market does equal higher paying faucets, win-win in any case. Yeah, and that's the thing, is something to think about. We saw Bitcoin and Ethereum mining become super profitable in 2017, 2018, and then it fell off, and maybe you were only making a few dollars a day here and there, mining Ethereum, Bitcoin, stuff like that. But think about where those people are who stuck with it, who continued to invest in graphics cards and stuff like that, to continue their mining operation. They stuck it out and waited through the bear market, and they were doing so well right now. Even if you had 10 series GPUs, stuff like that, RX 580s, 570s, if they were 8 gigs, were still so profitable. So it's something to think about, not just faucets, but if you can afford to and are willing to take the risk, would you invest in mining hardware? Would you invest in other crypto hardware to continue earning, at that discounted price? Because I'm guessing as soon as Ethereum, as soon as EIP 1559 goes into effect and the mining profits are cut in half, crypto prices might fall, depending on what they are around that time. You might be able to get 30 series GPUs on eBay below MSRP, which is a huge turnaround from where they're at right now. But that, of course, is just some thoughts. I don't know if I'll be investing in more computer hardware at that point, but, it's definitely something to think about. But, hey, Wood, you said any thoughts on Kava? I'm actually not familiar with that, so let's look it up here. I have not heard of this coin at all. Looks like it's 498. Not quite its all-time high, but it did hit that back in early April, about a 741, and it's fallen down, a couple dollars since then. So let's see, what is their project? All right, so DeFi. Okay, so it looks like fully integrated financial products for crypto. So it looks like you may actually be able to get a credit card with it, or a debit card. Lending, claim, exchange. So it looks like they may have a lent, and it's on Binance. It looks like is their big thing. So I'd have to look into this a little bit more. I'm not familiar with it, but it does look like a really nicely put together website, which could be a good indicator for how the project is going to go. So a high yield on your crypto with the protocol here. So let's see if they've got any. I was hoping they would give me a percentage or something like that. But, based off just scrolling through the website here, it looks like a good project. Like I said, I'd have to do some more in-depth research on it and kind of see what everything is about here. I'm just kind of scrolling through and looking at what's going on here right now. But yeah, so sorry I don't have too many other thoughts on it, but definitely looks pretty cool here. But Mike said I completely agree, and I read that ETH devs are delaying the mining difficulty bomb until December. Any thoughts on the Chia coin? I've read on Reddit it sounds a little sketchy. Yeah, so I actually have a video coming out tomorrow on the Chia wallet. I have to do some more research on it, though, because I have seen some mixed reviews. I don't think it's sketchy. I wouldn't use the word sketchy. I'll say that. It was developed by the guy who created BitTorrent, BTT, who's obviously he knows what he's doing. BTT, very successful, even once it was bought by Tron. And Haywood, no problem. Glad I could help you out getting some extra eyes on the project here. I'll have to do some more research on it and look into it a little further. But going back to what Mike said, I wouldn't say sketchy. You do have to be careful. From what I've seen, it does put a lot of wear on your SSD because they do recommend that you have an SSD as well as a larger storage hard drive, which would be your actual finalized plotting device, which you would farm off of. Right now, from what I've seen, the more terabytes of storage you have, the better. But this is the site that I was using yesterday when I was first looking into this. This says here with a 1014 gigabyte plot, 10 plots, so a terabyte, you're expected to earn about $52 a month. Now, what you have to remember here is this is broken down into the splits. This is not a flat $52 a month, because when you're looking at something like what to mine for Ethereum, if it says you're going to earn $20 a day, you're going to earn $20 a day plus or minus maybe $1.50 in either direction. With this, the way that Chia mining is right now is you are only mining by yourself. So you could actually hit the block a day in. And at that point, you've just made $3,000 at, well, let's see what the price is here before I say that. Because it was oh, it's not on here. Coin market cap. All right, Chia. So a block reward for Chia is 2 coins. So you've got, about $3,000 here, maybe $2,800, $2,400, but that's a great payoff. But remember, you're mining based off luck. Obviously, the more speed that you have, the better it's going to be. But this does say here with 1 terabyte, your expected time to win is about 4 years. So it's a little confusing, at least in my opinion here. If we go to, I wanted to switch back to non-advanced. So let's say you had, 10 terabytes, which isn't a completely unrealistic. Oh, I'm sorry, that was on gigabytes. Okay, so that may have been wrong, but either way, let's say you had 10 terabytes, 9.9, which is not super far out there. Storage is super cheap right now. 8 to 10 terabytes I think is realistically something someone could invest in. It might be $250 to $300 for that hard drive. This says your expected time to win is 5 months, and it breaks it down into $526 a month. But you need to remember that this is luck based. You will be, your expected time to win is 5 months. You could hit it on day 1 and make that $3,000, and then you could also hit it on month 12. Just because it says expected time to win is 5 months does not mean you're going to get that right away. So obviously the more storage that you have, the better. But I've also seen some stuff that has said that, with hundreds of terabytes, it's going to be, months before you win. So I'm not sure how accurate this calculator is, because what I was looking at yesterday was actually, I found a hard drive on Amazon. The price of it was 5 terabytes, and it was priced at $99. So, you could scoop up 15 terabytes for $300, and, let's see here. If you had 15 terabytes, according to this calculator, your expected time to win is 3 months, and your monthly breaks down to $789. At this point, the only thing is you gotta, hope that you hit the block. And that's what the catcher is, you could invest $300 and hopefully get that back in a month, or, maybe 3 months times, 4 or 5. At that point, you could take half your earnings and invest in more storage to continue building up your node. Because, as you can see here, if we had, let's say, 25 terabytes here, your expected time to win is still about 2 months, but it says you're earning about $1,300 a month. That's an incredibly good return if it stays like this. Now, of course, once we get pools, it's going to be much more stable. But, looking at your storage costs down here, that's whatever. But you got to also remember that plotting this many terabytes is going to take a ton of time. I saw with a good NVMe SSD, doing one plot takes about 7 hours. I will definitely be testing that. I've got a pretty good computer here to test on. I have an SSD, 12 cores, 64 gigs of RAM. Doesn't get much better than that. Especially, they recommend here for a plotting device an Intel, SSD, plotting SSD for a performance PCIe Gen 4. They recommend spending about, $1,200 on hardware just to plot. So that's crazy to me. 2 520 gig hard drives, this is for an 18 terabyte, they're saying is $1,000. That I don't agree with, because if you bought 10 of those 500 or those 5 terabyte drives, you'd have 50 terabytes versus what, 2 18s? So what's that, 36? So, you got to shop around, find a good link or a good price. They're saying your total cost to get in is $2,200. If you don't mind waiting an extra amount of time, having that computer go a little slower, you don't have to invest in this super nice hardware. But when I was talking about this with my friend last night, he did read that, when you're plotting, if you're plotting 24/7, you can expect to burn through an SSD, once a month or once every other month, just because it's that intensive. So that's something to think about as well. So like I said, at this point, I don't know if I'm going to go through with it and really, get into it that much. I do have right now about 10 terabytes of space that I could plot. I have to move some files around to get all of that freed up, but I don't know if I want to plot off of my SSD if I'm going to burn it up. So it's something I got to think about, and make that decision. But Graham, I'm not familiar with Nano. It sounds familiar, but I don't, if it's what I think it is. Yeah, so I've heard of this project, but I don't know much about it. It looks like their all-time high back in 2018, nowhere near that, $33. The closest we've gotten is $14. So, I think there's still a lot of potential for it to go up based off this, quick look at the chart, but I don't know much about the project. Low Roller, you said if you mine Chia, do you have to pay electricity? So you're farming Chia. It's not actually mining, but you will be paying for the electricity to run the computer and the hard drives. It is going to be way, way, way more power efficient than mining any other crypto that's, POW. Think of it as staking. As long as the computer is on, you have a chance of winning. So whatever your computer costs to run. Now, if you start building out a real big operation here, you'll have to think about powering your hard drives, because the spinners, they take, they got to spin those drives up and keep them up at speed. So it does use more power than SSDs, but it's something to think about because you will be using less power. Whatever your computer idles at, plus, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 watts per hard drive, depending on the efficiency of your drive. So there's that, but way more power efficient than GPU mining or ASIC mining, or even CPU mining for that. So, Mike, you said, is there any way to mine with a pool, or do you have to mine solo? Right now, as far as I know, it's still solo. According to this, it says the above estimates are based statistically on the expected yield. Real-world returns will vary, especially over shorter periods of time. Your luck will play into how many blocks of 2x you end up actually winning. So, you could get super, super lucky and you could hit 2-3 blocks right in the first week, or you might go months without hitting a single one. It's kind of a luck-based thing here. And then once the pools become available, that will remove the luck factor, but your calculated earnings will probably go down. So, right now you could, get plotting, all of that, set it all up, and then, hold on to it. You've got everything plotted, set it up and run it. You get lucky, you get lucky. If not, once the pools become available, at least you're up and rolling already. So, like I said, I'm going to be doing more research on it, watching videos before I decide to do anything myself. But, I'm not sure how accurate this really is, because, obtaining 25 terabytes of storage right now is not crazy expensive. Like I said, for 5 terabytes at $100, for $500 you could get 25 terabytes. It's something you gotta think about. If it's really realistically going to pay you $1,300 a month, then I would have no problem doing that. But it is a luck-based thing, and at that point, you're taking a pretty big risk, again, depending on how much you want to invest. So there's always that. So Mike said, wait, so in that case, you'd need a new SSD every month. That is what my friend read in an article. I don't know how accurate that is. I have to do some math on the write speeds and all that, and the write cycles and all that on SSDs. It's going to vary for every SSD. If you have an older SSD that you've been using a lot, and if you write a lot of data, videos, pictures, files, stuff like that, your SSD, it does have a lifespan. It's going to die at some point. It's like a hard drive. So it depends on how much what he said was you're going to burn through that. I think it was every, 2 months if you're plotting 24/7. So that's something to think about. I'll do more research on all of that and kind of make a video about, should you do this or not. But what I would say is, if you have important files on your computer and you're going to plan to use that to plot, back it up first. Make sure you've got everything saved at least in 2 spots, because in the event that it does kill the SSD, you don't want to lose your files. So there's that too. But low roller, I have not found any Shiba Inu faucets yet. I haven't really looked. I haven't done much with that coin because as far as I know, it's not very easily obtained. I just, it's kind of a joke coin, at least in my opinion, so I have not done much with it, and I don't know of any faucets for it. Moke, you said, have you tried it on the SSD Chia? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I have not tried plotting yet, but I will let you know once I do, and what I decide to go with, because I do have a burner SSD that if it did die, I don't really care about. It's just a 128 gig, but from what I've seen, you need to have about 180 gig available, so for the minimum plot. So I don't even know if that'll work. But low roller, you said Chia is available on crypto.com, so that's good to know that you can kind of convert through there. But again, getting the coins, you're going to really come down to a luck-based thing here. And that's what's gonna, be the killer for a lot of people is, taking that chance on it. Because, again, say you doubled your plan there and you got 500 gigs or 500 plots for 50 terabytes, then your expected time to win is 30 days, a month. So, it's just, what do you want to invest? Right now, from what I found on Amazon, you're looking at about $1,000 to invest in something like this. They recommend, to start, you're going to spend about $3,000. So, going off what they say here is obviously not very good. What I'll do here is actually grab that link. So, this is the one that I found. It's on Amazon. It's a portable hard drive. It is a WD 5 terabyte Elements portable external hard drive, USB 3, compatible with PC, Mac, and Windows. $99 for 5 terabytes. Delivers in, 2 days, whatever. At this point, this is the best deal that I was able to find last night, new or used. So, this would be what I would go with if I was going to purchase drives for this. But again, I don't know if I'm going to actually purchase anything. So, Mike, thanks. Glad you're enjoying it. Glad that you're liking the channel and what's in the live stream. But yeah, the Chia video tomorrow will be just kind of a short overview. I think it was about 5 minutes about the wallet, kind of showing you what's in there. What's really nice is the what am I saying here? The coin, if you guys dealt with Burst coin back in, 2016, 17 era, if you remember how Burst coin was, it was a very, very similar concept, but it was way, way, way more confusing because you had a software to plot, you had a wallet, you had a software to farm, and you had to link everything up, and there were certain key files that you had to do, and if you messed it up, it just didn't work. What's really nice about Chia is it's all in the wallet. Your wallet, your plotting software, your farming software, and all you need to have is it gives you a 24 backup phrase, 24-word backup phrase. You can input that in on any computer. So you could plot on a nice computer with a lot of RAM, a good SSD, and a good CPU, and then you could take that drive and sign into a wallet on an older desktop computer. As long as it runs Windows and that thing and the wallet, you can put that phrase in and immediately import your farm plots and start plotting on a computer that's, not your main computer, something that can be on 24/7. So definitely cool. Moke, I will let you know, don't want to use something that will kill it later or waste more money on another SSD. That's something you got to take into account when getting into this. It's like GPU mining. You're taking a risk of killing your GPU. Here you're taking a risk of killing your SSD. So at least right now you can buy SSDs, at a reasonable price compared to GPUs. But again, this hard drive was the best one that I was able to find on Amazon. So, Haywood, he did say low roller. The only faucet that he found was CoinPayu app. And then GPX Research. So I'm not familiar with those, but he said they are working for the Shiba Inu coin. I'm not sure if you saw that, but Mike, you said I agree with Moke. That would be helpful. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated, do some calculations on it once I learn a little bit more. I only really started looking in depth into this coin the other day. By that I mean, about 24 hours ago. I've watched some videos on it, kind of seen what needs to be done to get started, and it does look like something that I would definitely be interested in doing. I like mining, I like computer hardware, and if I had to build a specific plotting and farming computer, if it's going to be profitable, I have no problem doing that on the channel here. We are getting closer and closer to being able to be partnered with YouTube, which means I can run ads that actually pay me, which does help fund projects like that. That was what allowed me to, build the mining rigs originally, the 2 that I have now that I was able to do videos on. So every day we are getting closer. The more people that watch these streams and the pre-recorded videos, the more hours I can get. And that means we're getting closer and closer to being able to do that and have that extra source of just a little bit of extra money coming in to help, fund some of these things where, since I got it from YouTube, you know, I can take the risk and purchase, you know, those hard drives and you know, start plotting. And if it kills an SSD, you know, at least I'm making something off of the YouTube videos for it. So that's kind of how I look at it, and that's why, you know, it does suck that the old channel got deleted, but I'm working as hard as I can here to, you know, get the channel up to where it was before, but you know, it just takes time. You know, you can have the best videos, but if the YouTube algorithm doesn't help you out, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. So, Haywood, you said it pays out in a few types of coins. No Shiba Inu though. So okay, that is something there. And then Dogecoin, he did say it pays out in. So. Low Roller, you said, would you use faucet earnings to buy Shiba Inu? You get 1 million Shiba for $15. It's low risk. That's a perfect idea. That, you know, I would say if you were going to purchase Shiba Inu, using faucet money is the best way to go about it, because it was already free money, and if you lose it, you're not out any money out of your pocket. Yeah, you did lose the money you earned, but you didn't have that to begin with, so it's okay to take the risk. That's how I look at it. But yeah, I think that's a perfect idea. And, you know, getting $15, you know, with free Bitcoin, a couple other faucets like Ninja Faucet, Fire Faucet, Auto Faucet, stuff like that, you know, that's easy. You could probably do that in a week. And then, you know, you get all those coins, and, hey, they go up to a penny. You're sitting pretty nice. So, Moke said, yes, it would, unless it pays a lot and worth the investment, it would be worth something. Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing is, you know, since it's luck-based right now, you know, you could get lucky and make $3,000 your first week. And then, you know, that paid for the hard drives. If you killed your SSD, you know, you could replace it with a 4 terabyte SSD and probably still have money left over. But again, it's that luck thing is what's going to happen. So, Mike, you said, can you use an older computer, or do you need to get good RAM and CPU speed, a modern computer for mining Chia? From what I can understand so far, you would want to do your initial plots on a good computer, you know, the best one that you have access to. It works on all computers, but the plots take time. The better hardware that you have, the shorter amount of time it's going to take. If you have an old dual core with 4 gigs of RAM, you can plot on that, but I would say you might be looking at, you know, a couple days, if not maybe a week or more of plotting time, depending on the size you want to go. So the more RAM and CPU that you have, the better. But at that point, then what you can do is move it to a computer that, you know, as long as it has Windows and is running and can run the Chia wallet, you can farm on that all day. So, because that, as far as I know, does not use any, you know, major CPU and RAM. You know, it's going to need to transfer data, but nothing crazy. Hazam, welcome. Hello, what do you think? How low do you think we can see the bearish market in 2021? I think we will not see the market as low as we saw in 2017. I would agree with you. I don't think it's going to go that low, but I think, you know, we might see, you know, 20 to 25,000, which Mike did comment on one of my videos. That was what his prediction was. I think that's a great prediction. You know, the 20,000 area is probably about as low as I think we'll go. We might dip into the teens again, but I don't think we'll go much lower than 20K. Mike said, oh man, hoping your channel continues to grow. You've been amazing content. My favorite. Well, I appreciate it. You know, we're growing. We're definitely doing well. You know, I hope that we can continue growing. Like I said, you know, getting back to that partnership status with YouTube to be able to earn a little bit. You know, even if it's just $5, $10 a month, you know, that does help towards, you know, doing projects like building a farming rig, you know, having that extra little bit, you know, I can say, hey, you know, at least I had this, you know, I look at it like a faucet, you know, you get it, you didn't have it originally, take a risk with that money, you know, maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Same thing I was just talking about with Low Roller there with the Shiba Inu, you know, you didn't really, you put in the work to get it, but you didn't put in, you know, you put in your time and effort. You didn't put in hours and hours and hours like you do at a job or something. So that's kind of how I look at it, but hopefully we can get there. Low Roller, you said, are you planning to buy Shiba Inu? I am not. I was going to, and then I looked. At the time that I looked, now this may be different, to get about $10, which was what I was going to, you know, throw at it. You know, like you said, you get about 1 million of them. $10 in Shiba Inu, $70 fee to do it. So $80 in total, and I'm still only getting 1 million Shiba coins. That was not worth it to me. Now, I haven't checked since then, but that was, why I didn't go for it. But I'll have to look again. At this point, I don't plan to, though, and that's why. Moke, 64 gigs of RAM and a 10920X. Nice setup. I have 64 gigs of RAM and the 5900X, so 12 cores. So I've got, a pretty good PC for it. We'll have to see how it goes. But Mike, you said, oh, got you. So can you plot on a good computer, then take the plot to an old one? It's a 50-50 time split process. What you would want to do is you'd want to plot the entire thing on your good computer, because I did see a video that said doing one plot with a good SSD, good CPU, and good memory, 7 hours. That was, just one person's experience. I have not personally tested it. But once you finish that plot, you can take the hard drive, put it into the old computer, sign into your Chia wallet with your 24-word phrase, import your plotted into the farming section, and you're off to earning, in theory. Yeah, so that's kind of how you would do it. You want your older computer that can be on all the time. That's the one you're going to want to farm on, but you're going to want to plot on your nice computer. Low Roller, you said you can buy on Crypto.com. I'll have to look into it. Let me open up my Crypto.com app and see here what I can get. Let's see. We want to go to probably Crypto Wallet. I'll just see, kind of how it works. But, yeah, like I said, right now I have not really thought about purchasing any. Right now it looks like if I was to, let's see. It looks like the minimum is about $700,000, which is $100, which is kind of seeming like it's what it wants me to do. If I wanted to put, I guess it'll let me do $1, but I just don't have enough in there right now because it's not letting me go. It looks like it's only a USD to, so limit is 200,000, so that's not bad. But I'll have to look into it a little bit more and see, because like you said, throw $20, $30 at it. Maybe it goes up, maybe it doesn't. If it does, you made quite a bit. If it doesn't, oh well. That's kind of how I would look at it. But also, can you use an SSD or hard drive both externally, or does it need to have... As far as I know, it can be either internal or external as long as it's plugged into the computer and is discoverable by Windows. If it shows up in File Explorer, you can plot to it as a temporary or a final destination drive, which I did go over more in depth in the video, showing basically your temporary one you want to be your SSD, your final is the hard drive, and they basically have that set up so people can't just churn these out like every other day. They want them to take some time, and that's kind of the POW side of it. So I think it's a really good project. I'll be interested to see what it pays, once pools start up, and if this is something that's, actually obtainable. Because like I said, if someone wanted to take the risk and get 50 terabytes for about $1,000 here on Amazon, you could add in 10 of these, or it looks like it only lets you buy 2 at a time. But either way, you could get these pretty good here. So 5 times 10, you're paying $1,000, you're getting 50 terabytes. So then you got to worry about power, which is another thing. You'd have to get a powered USB hub. But I think, if someone really wanted to get in and take a risk, $1,000, this says you're supposed to make it back in about a month, and your expected time to win is 30 days. So it's something, it's something to think about, of course. But then you got to think about plotting 50 terabytes. That's going to take forever. So it's interesting. So I'll be keeping you guys updated on the channel. But Hazam said, how much you earn from free Bitcoin faucet till now because you have joined the faucet many years ago? I don't know if they let you know. Let me see. There may be a stats, personal stats. I have withdrawn 0.249 Bitcoin. So just under 0.3, which at today's price which of course I don't have this much Bitcoin, is about $12,000. That's at today's price. That's been over this, a long time though. So that's something to remember as well. That's what I've withdrawn from the faucet, because I've played the high-low games and stuff like that. But definitely still really, really nice, over time to see that. Shiba Inu is like Dogecoin. You didn't expect anything. You forget about it a few years later, you're rich. Exactly. That's something, you throw in some, faucet money, stuff like that, and hey, maybe it goes up. But Mike said, awesome, man. Appreciate it. Keeping us informed. Great live stream. Thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hopefully everyone else is enjoying it as much as you are. And yeah, I think Chia is really interesting, because I think it's a lot more obtainable for people, because, if it works out, you can slowly start buying these and plotting them one at a time. And, there's a lot of people that have, spare hard drives and stuff. And, you go on eBay and pick up spare hard drives. From what I did yesterday, honestly, that $100 one on Amazon seems to be the best deal, for used or new. I couldn't find anything that was worth sharing about on eBay. And, eBay, you're hit or miss. You could get a drive that's got 2 weeks left of life in it, or you could get one that lasts for 5 years. With Amazon, at least you're buying new and you have some sort of warranty. I don't know what the warranty is here, maybe like a 2-year or a 1-year. So you've got that going for you versus eBay. So that's my personal opinion, but that's where we're at. So I think I am going to get ready to wrap this up, though, because I do have to finish the video for tomorrow, and then all of that. But I do appreciate everyone for showing up. I'm glad we were able to get things rolling a little bit here. Like I said, it's probably going to be on the shorter side for tonight, but Telcoin went up crazy than Dogecoin, so you definitely take a look at that. Telcoin here, 3 cents. Oh yeah, that definitely went up pretty well. Yeah, it's pretty similar to Dogecoin. Not quite as high yet, but that did pretty similar actually. So definitely still interesting to see. But yeah, well, other than that, again, guys, thank you so much for showing up. I think that I'm going to call it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to stay up to date on all things cryptocurrency, as well as all the Chia stuff we talked about tonight. Hopefully this is not the start of the bear market, and hopefully next week or later even this week we might see Bitcoin on the uptrend headed towards all-time highs. Thank you guys for showing up. Haywood, glad you enjoyed. Mike, glad you enjoyed. And I hope everyone else enjoyed. Thanks for showing up, guys. Have a nice